They done messed up now. Should have never gave these boys a podcast. Whoa. This is Off the Rim. With your boy, Coach Skinny, Coach Drake, and Coach Drake. I'm off. There go the men again. What up, SimWorld? Sit back, relax. Let us take you through the mind of a coach.
Yo, what up, y'all? What up, Drayton?
What up, SimWorld? What up, Skinny?
So yeah, shout out to you for holding down the show last week, and also shout out to you for having my cup holder ready, my seat on the bench ready, because you knew I was gonna be right next to your. Thanks for holding it down, bro. Leave a seat open for me because I was gonna be here. Yeah, that hurts, man. It hurts. My boys fought. They fought their life out. But that's what's gonna segue us into this episode because we're gonna talk about the breadster himself, the Lee Meister, Mr. Coach Brad Lee. And I'm gonna let Drayton dive into it, man.
Now, what makes Brad Lee and SES Southeast Select so special is I think that this may be SimWorld's prep first formation of a dynasty. Their first season, they played 22 games and made it all the way to the national championship, in which they had an unfortunate defeat. But a key aspect about Southeast Select is if you look at their roster composition, it's really big, strong defensive bigs that necessarily don't have to score the basket, and extremely elite guard play. In the Ground Zero season, the guards were Trey Burner Turner, everybody knows him, Lee Armstead, and Terrell Pearson. What made the unit so special is even when Trey Turner wasn't lighting it from deep, they had two guards that could efficiently attack the basket.
Let me jump in. You want to know what's crazy about that roster last season? Pearson mostly came off the bench. If you pay attention to what coach's roster is looking like now, he had pretty much 3-guard rotation coming off the bench. Now he has a 3 big rotation. If you notice, it's still the same building blocks of last season. Yeah, it looked different, but he finds a way to have everybody follow their role, like to a T. Like everybody knows their role. But I just had to jump in it. Go ahead. What else you got?
And I think that's exactly the point that I was about to get to. And I was like, a lot of people never talk about like the players that he recruits and how they fit the system because they're not considered like the prime gets. They're not prime real estate. But he brought in Jackson. He brought in Drake Johnson. He brought in Breck. Is it Baker or is it Backer?
Man, we don't know. We just hyping the name Baker Backer.
He brought in Breck, and all of them, all of the guys that I just named, all the people that he brought in are all players that most coaches would be like, yeah, looking back at it, if I could bring a guy in like this is the type of guy that I want to bring in. Now, their defense isn't as elite as it was last season, but they're still like top 3 in steals. They close out on shots. They force turnovers. They're just, I don't want to say a complete team, but Brad Lee has a certain formula a recipe, if you will, that he's followed to a T with only small deviations. And even if it doesn't look the same, you can say that it still tastes the same.
Yeah, 100%. And you want to know what makes them more dangerous? And nobody's really talking about it. I think the IQ on his team is what makes them the most dangerous. After they sent me to the showers recently, where in the game the plan was to drop on pick and rolls on Gabe and Dexter and make them shoot. They so smart that when my guys started dropping, the big was slip so fast that it forced us to switch. I never wanted to switch. And then what happened? One of their bigs destroyed us in the paint. Caught one of our guards. They kept doing it over and over. Then when we try to jump that, what they do? Blow passes with Dexter, blow passes with Gabe. The level of intelligence is just ridiculous. I think their intelligent attribute is even greater than their skill set. But go ahead.
And I think that's like what makes a dynasty, that it's small things that people often overlook that become staples to the team. They run the break really well. They play team defense. It isn't about one person getting the stop. We're all going to help each other. Then they have guys that when they need to, all 5 of their starters, you could say, have moments in games where they just absolutely take over. And sometimes when people think of takeover, they think of like Kobe and Jordan when they're going for like 40. But a takeover could be, hey, Gabe Pope got 4 steals or 3 steals in a row, or Kadarius Stack has gotten 3 offensive rebounds in a row, or Drake Johnson hit 2 threes and then went and dunked, or Dexter Jackson's finding everybody perfectly on the cut. I think that if we're talking about what starts a dynasty, even though they don't technically have a championship, I think they're poised to be called SimWorld Prep's first dynasty. They have all the makings of it. The only thing you can say that they're missing is the hardware.
Yeah, and I agree that this is probably the first iteration of a dynasty. And if you watch all dynasties, they do start off like this. But Lord have mercy, whenever they get that first one, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
It usually ends up becoming like a title town for a little minute.
Yeah. So once they get that first taste of it, Lord have mercy on the league. Well, with that being said, we just wanted to give Southeast Select their flowers, Coach Brett, his flowers, all the players on that team, their flowers. And for the record, this was Drayton's idea. Drayton's a real stand-up dude. Lost in the first round and still showing love. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. You got anything else to say, Drayton?
And this is SimWorld, where the only place where you can see the game and be the game.